Okay, so this is kind of my part two coverage of FSD. Now, again, this is April 17th. I am running currently, thank you, October. My wife's actually in the back seat with my newborn. So this is October 17th, and we are currently here in downtown Toronto. We're just leaving here, the Metro Toronto Convention Center. And I thought to myself, Elon Musk the other day did his big announcement for the full self-driving robotaxi. Basically, no steering wheel, nothing. And it was a pretty controversial, actually, launch. It was supposed to be the Model 2 that then became all of a sudden the model, then all of a sudden came the robotaxi. And it was a big controversy because a lot of people were excited for a new, cheaper $30,000 Tesla model, and what they got was a robotaxi that should be delivered in the next couple of years, 2026, but sometimes, depending on certain things, who knows that actually is going to show up. So one of the big things also highlighted in the event was that the Model 3 and the Model Y will be getting fully autonomous driving capability where, I think it's called unsupervised, the term was used at the demo for We Robot, of what Tesla's next big push will be. Now, the unsupervised basically means that that you don't have to touch anything. The car will drive itself entirely, and this is primarily to allow you as a driver to either not touch the steering wheel, or in the case of the cyber taxi and even the cyber bus or robobus, whatever they're calling it right now, that it will be usable as you buy it, and then when you're not using it, it can be sent out to basically collect, make you money, or you can hire it on as a very cheap taxi, fully autonomous. It'll be a 2-passenger unit. I got some reservations about it personally. For one, it looks a lot like I think it's called the XL1. It was a very expensive not prototype, but sort of halo car that was developed by Piech under Volkswagen Group as I think it was a 1 liter per 100 kilometer car, basically the most efficient car possible. And it looks exactly the same design, same shape, but that's kind of not too surprising when you think about it, just with the way that the aerodynamics are designed, and even the doors, the way they open, look identical, so it was quite funny. But in this case here, I have full self-driving mode engaged. I'm going from basically the CN Tower to the Four Seasons, and this is kind of the Four Seasons here in North Toronto. And we're just kind of seeing how the car sort of handles this really intensive traffic that we have here in Toronto. Now, granted, it is later in the day. It is currently 9:30 at night, so the traffic is a little bit more manageable, I think, for the system. But so far in this process, it's been very capable, and I have very little doubt that it can get us around very easily. But again, this is a good example of the current system, because this Carmen currently, and the Model 3 currently available, including older models, there is a high likelihood by 2026, 2027, that Toronto could be signed up as one of the cities that allow to have fully autonomous driving, unsupervised. And yeah, you're kind of expected to just get in the car and it will drive itself. You don't touch anything. And this is kind of what the experience is going to be like. Right now, upon the launch, what we're hearing is right now, again, this can change any day, but California and Texas apparently have signed up for them to be the first states in the United States to be the first fully autonomous driving from Tesla, basically get in and go. Not too surprising, they do have a lot of those self-driving taxi companies down in those some of the major cities down there, so not too surprising. With that being said, though, will it expand to other locations? And it's kind of hard to describe what this is going to look like, because when you think of autonomous driving, like the car is doing right now, I'm not touching the steering wheel or the pedals, by the way, here. But when you look at autonomous driving, what it's trying to do is, the idea being is that when you drive a car to somewhere, well, you got to park it somewhere, right? If I go here, I got to go park it somewhere. But if you have a fully autonomous driving vehicle, well then, okay, what's it going to do here? It's jumping out. Oh, wow, that jumped around that car perfectly. That was impressive, actually. But where was I? Sorry, that took me by surprise. The car did that move. Again, did it safely, but it's always a little bit of a surprise when the car just decides to make a move that you yourself, you're not even sure if you would do if you had to. So yeah, it's It's a pretty incredible experience. Hopefully the camera's not too bouncy. I got to get a new camera mount. My other camera mount wasn't working exactly, so I had to switch it out. But yeah, so I've got about 9 minutes left on this trip. This is going to be a very interesting intersection in front of me. I don't know if you can see in the camera just yet, but multiple lanes closed down over there. This is the right-hand turn lane only now, so he's got to get over and jump across. So I wonder what he's going to do, the car. I see he, but I wonder what the Tesla's going to do. Is it going to jump across all these lanes really quickly? Or is it going to try to do something a little bit different? Is it going to try to, like, just go slowly with the process? We'll see. Because this thing has a weird habit of just launching, basically. Not in a bad way, it'll launch, basically, and then get over. So let's see what it's going to do. Okay, green light in a second. Here we go. Okay, it's going to accelerate. It's probably going to put sticker on now. Or what's it going to do here? Because I don't think it realizes it can't go straight. So now it's stuck. Okay. So what's it going to do here? Because I don't think it knows what it can do here. Is it going to try to go straight? I don't think it knows it can't go straight. Nope, nope, nope. I'm going to make it right. Okay, I've taken over for this one here. It kind of got a bit lost up there. I guess it didn't see the work up there, and it was trying to make a right-hand turn across multiple lanes of traffic. And that's not good, so I'm just going to take over here. So that's the first time I had to take it over in the city. Okay, so I'm back on the road here. And I'm going to turn it back on once you get around this corner. Okay, it's back on. See, it's going to try to go back around again, and I don't think it's going to know how to do that. Okay, let's see what it does. Okay, so it got kind of lost there for a second. I don't blame it too much. It's a pretty badly designed intersection. So let's see. Okay, it sees the people here on the right side. We're on York Street here, so it's gonna make it right onto York. Okay, what's it gonna do? And the road's closed here. Okay, so it's not liking it too much right now. Okay. This is not going as I thought it would. All right, hang on here. Okay, so on the left-hand side here is the Eaton Center. So it tried to make a right-hand turn onto a closed road, and then it tried to go left into a merged lane when you weren't allowed to. So you got to keep an eye on that. Actually, to the left of me right now is the City of Toronto's office. So let's see what's going to do here now. Okay. So driving on the highway, perfect. Around town, a little bit more, oh, buddy. Oh, that was a good catch if I got that on video. Please tell me I got that on video. That was close. Okay, it's going to make a left-hand turn here now. Yeah, that street's closed off. So earlier I mentioned in the video before this that, okay, it's let me take over. I didn't actually touch in the end. It did it itself, but it was telling me to take over for a second there. Okay, this is fine here. Where was I again? Wow. So, anyways, back to the issue at hand here. It seems that the system itself, I really hope this works, because the system is using Tesla's internal mapping software, which is totally fine. But one thing I definitely have noticed, though, is that it doesn't know when a road is closed or construction on that road is done. And what I'm hoping for, in the same way that Waze, people on Waze are able to update the map saying, hey, this road's closed, or this road's not currently passable, or there's a crash, go around it. I really hope that comes to here. Maybe it already is, but I don't know if I'm actually able to make a note anywhere in the system. I probably am, and I just don't know how to do it yet. But yeah, I would really enjoy if I was able to just update that on my own, just to make life a little bit easier. But yeah, so we had 2 incidences so far where the system got lost and I had to take control somewhat. Both occasions I had to take control, but the one there where the car was yelling at me to take over. It doesn't seem to like, also another thing I've noticed too, especially here again in Toronto, we have a lot of more than 90-degree turns. So you'll actually have to turn and come back essentially where you came from almost, because the road curves backwards to go straight again. So that's just something to consider when you're using this kind of a system. Just be aware of that. But again, this is, compared to what the original FSD was like, this system is superior. So it's just going to get better over time. I don't know what the hell it's doing now. It just stopped. I don't know why it just stopped there. Okay, that was a fail. I didn't see a warning on the screen. It just stopped dead in its tracks for no apparent reason. Okay. Yeah, okay, we got Toronto Police in front of us here on the left. Okay, so that's now the third time I'll watch the video back. Maybe something was going on there I didn't see. But yeah, that just flat out stopped at a green light. Okay. Yeah, this system in Toronto is not really happy right now. Gotta keep an eye on that. So what is going on here? Maybe the camera's getting confused by the rail tracks on here for the what do you call it again? For the streetcars. Maybe that's what it's getting confused by, but I don't know why I just stopped there at a green light. There was no reason to. Okay, let's see what it's gonna do here. Yellow light, it's gonna stop. Okay, that's fine. Also, I find it's stopping really far away from the line. Like, that car next to me, I mean, you can see here where the line is. It's right there. So, I'm not sure why it's stopping so early. I'm trying to think of a title for this video, because right now this system is not liking Toronto traffic too much. No idea. So, we'll go from there. Yeah, so on the highway, okay, go. Why is the car not moving forward? Okay, now it moves forward. Okay, so it stops dead. Was it waiting for that car to pull in front of us? Or, I'm not sure what it was doing there. Maybe, when I watch the video again, maybe I'll put a note at the very end here if I have to kind of go over what the car was doing, because that was weird. It's like, it won't go forward. I have to give it gas, and then it'll start to go, but then it doesn't disconnect. It didn't disconnect autopilot. It didn't disconnect FSD. It just stopped, and then it didn't go forward. And I had to kind of give it some gas to go forward. Okay? Okay, what's going on here now? Okay, so cars on the side there, waiting. Again, it's nice that the cameras here actually show you what you're looking at, so it's easy to kind of glance down and see, oh yeah, that's what's going on here. So that's nice. Okay, slowing down again. I'm just going to zoom back in there so I can kind of see what's looking at. There we go. So let's see the bicyclist. Well, it thought it was a person, now it's a bicycle, so that's kind of funny. We got a stop vehicle here making a turn. Okay, now we got a yellow light. Okay, let's see if it does it again. I want to see what the camera's looking at. So I'm going to look down here at the camera. Yeah, but anyway, so, this is the question of what's going to happen with the robo-taxi. Is it going to be popular? I think so. Elon was definitely pushing it in the video, during the demo for, as more of an investor vehicle, we'll say, literally. It was an idea that you buy a bunch of them up and then you kind of have a fleet of them running around. So basically creating a taxi service without humans involved for the most part. So, also, the vehicle itself had a bunch of cool things, like they're talking about induction charging, so that's cool. So wireless charging is nice. And also that the vehicles will be, okay, this one went forward. Okay, that's fine. But also the vehicles will be set up so that when they're parked, they can be self-cleaned by Tesla robots that can come in and sweep the floor, clean off the seats, disinfect everything. So that's quite nice. I am a little concerned, though, like I said, with the lack of a steering wheel. Because, as I said in my earlier video, when you're flying a plane on autopilot, when something happens, you can grab something and do something. But this vehicle they're showing off has no human overrides, right? There's no way of hitting a button and stopping the vehicle in an emergency. That may come out a little bit later on, but not at this time. So I'm not saying I'm not confident that robo-taxis will not come about. They're already here. They're on their way. They have a lot of them in Toronto. They have a lot of them, in locations around the world. But I think that but these are modified vehicles. These have been up. These are not purpose built. They still have a steering wheel. They still have everything you need to kind of drive the car if something were to go wrong. I know a lot of them you sit in the back. You can't go in the front, but there's still a wheel, so you can still get in and do something. I wonder what they're going to do for the cyber cab, that kind of process. One thing I did notice, though, about the cyber cab is that the lights in the front were projection LEDs. Okay, what's it going to do here? We got a McLaren on the left. Nice. We got people stopped on the right. Let me go forward. Okay, what's it doing here? It's getting in the right-hand lane. Okay. Now, this is where I get a little worried because there's a lot of bicyclists coming up and down here, so I want to see what it's going to do. There's a bicyclist I can see way behind me, but he should catch up, or they should catch up to me when I get to here. So let's see what it's going to do. See what it's going to do. Okay, I don't see one behind me. It's going to make the right-hand turn here. Is it? Or is it going to stop? What's it doing? No, okay, yep, it's going. I don't know why it stopped there. It just got lost for a second. And, okay. And I'm not going to pull in. I'm just going to drive forward, but there is the Four Seasons. So it's a little packed right now, and I don't feel like getting in that traffic jam. But yeah, there you go. Driving in downtown Toronto, FSD, and the system didn't like it too much. So there you go. But overall, I think that there's still a lot of progress that can be made, but I have a high level of confidence that it will happen, that they will, one way or another, figure out how to make this all happen. So would I get FSD? Absolutely. Does it have room to grow? Absolutely. No questions asked. But I have faith in Tesla, which a lot of people will criticize. So how do you have faith in them? But they're getting better. It's the one company where when they say it will come in future updates, and a majority of what he has said and Tesla has said has come true in one way or another. So yeah, that's about it really.